Hi guys and welcome back to the channel, and we have some devastating but possibly not bad news update on a Star Trek movie. So Variety dropped this exclusive, and I saw the report and I thought, oh you fucking dancer, just after we had a clarification that Star Trek 4 or a Kelvin Timeline sequel is not moving forward. Variety, new Star Trek movie in the works from Dungeons and Dragons duo Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daley. So I thought, oh, Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't love it, but it was okay. But who was in that? Chris Pine, aka Captain James Tiberius Kirk from the Kelvin Timeline Star Trek movies. The J.J. Abrams, fucking all the lights and the shaky, all the lens flare. And I thought, oh. And then I read the report. Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daley, the duo behind Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, and the screenplay for Spider-Man Homecoming, what happened there, are enlisting in Starfleet. They've been hired to write, produce, and direct a new Star Trek film that will seek to revitalise the franchise after it has languished for nearly a decade without a big screen adventure. So I was still thinking like, ooh! However, as Variety previously reported, the new film will not be a continuation of the J.J. Abrams-led reboot of the series and won't feature Chris Pine or any of the actors from those previous movies. In brackets, Pine starred in Goldstein and Daley's D&D film. In fact, while plot details are being kept under wraps, this project is not connected to any previous or current TV series, movie, or major movie development projects. So you're out of luck, Jean-Luc Picard and Catherine Janeway. And they go on and talk about the fact that they were going to have one with Chris Hemsworth coming back as Captain Kirk. Kirk's dad anyway. The Tarantino one, it was going to be set in the 1930s. Noah Hawley, Matt Shackman, all their fucking projects that got abandoned. In 2024, Variety reported that Steve Yockey was writing a draft for the final chapter Trek movie starring the cast led by Pine, Zachary Quinto, and Zoe Saldana. So we had that, and then we also had, obviously, as I previously spoke about, the only project that was in the works still to this day was the Toby Haynes from Andor. Had been tapped to direct a Star Trek origin film written by Seth Graham Smith. But now both productions appear to be stranded in deep space without life support, with life support failing. Getting a new Star Trek out of dry dock has been a priority for Paramount since David Ellison's Skydance took control of the company in August, because the series was one of the most enduring properties in the studio's library. So yes, we are no longer getting 100% no longer getting a Kelvin Timeline continuation, you know what I mean? You think that the studio would have thought, fuck, Universal just announced The Mummy 4 nearly 20 years after the last one. Fucking Warner Brothers have announced Gremlins 3 after 30 plus years. Why can't we just announce Star Trek 4 in time for the franchise's 60th anniversary next year? Star Trek 4, the final chapter of the Kelvin Timeline. No. It's a shame. It really is. But a new chapter in the Star Trek franchise that's got nothing to do with anything we've seen before. Will it get bums on seats? I don't know. I spoke about this previously in my last Star Trek video, that a whole new idea would work, but I mean, it might entice people to come and see it, because if it's a whole new thing that you don't have to go back and look at all these back catalogues of Star Trek, who this character is, who that is, what that is, blah, 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 continuation of this, that, and the next thing. I understand, I get it, but they're making The Mummy 4, and they're making Gremlins 3. Two franchises that are, like, come on to fuck. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to it, because any Star Trek on the big screen is better than no Star Trek on the big screen. So, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens soon. I mean, I can't see it being made in time for the 60th anniversary next year. If anything, they'll start production and it'll be a big, song and dance about it. Like 60 years of Star Trek, and we're now starting to work on our new Star Trek film. Lights, camera, action. Lens flare. I'm intrigued because who's the crew going to be? The cast. You're going to need to cast big actors, right? The ship, the design, the uniforms, the bridge. What villains are they going to take? Villains from the past, the Klingons, fucking anything, or is it going to be a completely new thing from scratch that we've never seen before, villain-wise, anything? But yeah, Star Trek: A New Horizon. What do you guys think about all this? Comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow, all that kind of stuff. I've been Nathan Guy. Live long and prosper and all that kind of stuff. Thanks for watching and goodbye.